You guys, hey you guys, we're back out in the grow room today. I look like a mess, and you can see how badly the walls need to be painted. I'm out here today, and I should have turned on the camera before I started this, but I didn't know if I was going to film and decided to. So this was that dish garden plant I showed you earlier. This guy right here was just continually rotting, so I decided it was time to disassemble this and hopefully keep him alive. You can see here where it was just rotting and falling off, and in the soil just lots of roots that have rotted and broken off. And also when I was pulling it apart, I noticed that there were worms in the soil. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing for houseplants. Either way, the soil was just, I guess, too wet for too long, and there's a lot of root damage, root rot, and the plants were dying, so I decided that I was going to try to fix that today. But I think I'm just going to stick them in some sphagnum moss. I hope you can hear me over this dehydrator running over here, my heat source. It's nice and cozy in this room. It's pretty cold outside. You can tell I've got layers on. I've got this pot here that has a piece of pothos that started to grow into it outside. I think I'll take this out. This is another pot that pothos started growing in, so I think I'll just transfer this into here. Hopefully that guy will be okay. And then I think I'm going to put some sphagnum in here. So I've got a little bit of water mixed with some fertilizer. Just a little bit. So far, most of my plants are looking like they're doing pretty good in here with the lighting and heating setup that I have. Ooh, I've got some roots on my mannook. I can see them from here. I don't see anything that's dying. So out of this dish garden that I pulled apart, we have a peace lily. Doesn't look too bad. It's got lots of roots still on it. We got 2 pieces of, I'm not sure what kind of maranta this is. I want to say it's the red vein, the red mine. I don't know. I don't know anything about maranta or plapia or any of that stuff. But there was 2 pieces in here. And then this is this guy in, you know, baby version basically. Some of you may remember when I first got this plant, it was a lot smaller. I got it from IKEA, the plant haul I did at IKEA. So I'm going to pot this guy and hopefully he'll be better. And then these, I don't know what they are. It might be some form of croton, that's what I'm guessing. But there was 2 in there, so we're going to try to save all these guys. Ooh, I could use this, I guess, for some spag. So you guys can see, I put the sphagnum here and then the fertilizer water, and I'm just making sure it gets all saturated, and then I'm going to squeeze out the excess moisture. But definitely don't want to be sticking these guys back in where it's extremely wet. And I'm going to use this little pot here for this, I think it's Dracania or Dracena, and I'm going to be using the method that Harley G uses. So we're going to wrap these roots, and then we're just going to wrap it in sphagnum. So I have noticed that I have pests. I have lots of pests. I'm pretty sure I have thrips, and I looked it up to find out how and why I have them, and my plants did spend all summer outdoors, and that's where they come from. So I'm not going to be selling anything for a while, because I'm going to have to treat this and make sure that they are 100% pest free before I try selling anything to anyone. I'm not going to be selling anything or giving anything away until I have eradicated the problem. I'm just backfilling, as Harley would say. I love Harley. So there we go. He has 7 and another leaf coming up. Now he was probably the size of this guy over here, not this stem, but as many leaves when I brought him home, and he's just been rotting. I said, hopefully he'll do better in here. I think I'm going to use this. You know what, maybe I can just stick all these guys back in here in the moss, and maybe they'll do better. I'm going to give it a try because I don't have really anything else I could give them right now. So not only has it been cold here the last 3 or 4 days, or week, but it's also been raining. It's hard enough for me to deal with the cold, but to deal with the wet and the cold, I don't like it. In the area that I have been finding those milk caps at, I actually found another handful the other day and set them on the hood of my truck and forgot, and then we went and go visit my cousin, and I'm driving down the road and a couple of them fly off. And a couple of them stuck on there, and I took a video clip. I was going to share to the community's post here on YouTube, but I'll stick it in here so you can see. Going like 65 miles per hour. These mushrooms are just hanging on for dear life. Anyway, I lost those, but because of all the rain, I'm sure we'll have another flush of them out there where I find them. But it's really flooded right now, so I don't know. So I've got a good amount of spag in here. Again, just some lightly fertilized water. Squish this around until everything is damp, or, you know, I'm still learning a lot of this stuff. I don't even know why I'm making videos about it. I really don't know what I'm talking about, but I just want to share with you guys. So that's what I wanted to do this weekend. I was going to go get a new paint roller and a pan so I could paint these walls. Duh. I probably should add some more, but I think this will be alright for what it is. I'm just trying to keep them alive. I don't know if it's going to work. And then this guy, node, that had some roots. I don't know if you can see that very well. Excuse my nails. I don't know if he'll live, but we'll try. Put them in the prop box here. Here's my lighting situation. It's a bit like an octopus, you know? It's got 4 arms on it. Stretch them out. It's very sturdy. I really like it. And it's got the timer. And I'm not sure what... Oh, you can like turn certain lights on and off. Down to 1, and all of them down to 3, 2, 1. That's cool. And then it has different, so this is the highest light, and then it goes down and back up, and then a timer, which, like I said, I haven't learned to use yet. This is all my guys chilling out under the light. This magnificum is just magnificent. My peperonia is getting new leaves, and it looks a lot bigger than when I first bought it. My watermelon vine back here has grown already since I brought it home, and I took some cuttings off of my begonia there. Getting some yellowing on my Adansonia. I think it's an Adansonia. It could be an oblique. I really don't know. This was the spots on my Begonia maculata that I was concerned about. Maybe they were there. If you guys remember them being there when I hauled it, let me know so I don't feel so bad. But it got a new leaf. Look at how pretty. My beautiful variegated peace lily. Look at this flower. It's a little weird. I came over here for something. What in the world did I come over here for? See, I'm trying to prop my watermelon peperonia and my begonia. I don't know what kind of begonia, but we're trying. I have to have the light closer to my prop box, because it needs to have more light. The leaves in there are turning yellow. I don't know how well that's going to work. this plant. Do you guys remember? No, I don't even think I showed you. Maybe I did. This guy here, I bought from the Plant Place Nursery last year, and it died. It was so gorgeous. I thought it died, but it decided to start trying to come back. I think what happened was is when I repotted, I buried these bulb things under the ground, and I don't think that's what you're supposed to do with this plant. I want to say it's in the orchid family, but I can't really remember. This ivy is so pretty. I'm so excited that it's been staying alive. I have not watered it. I'm not going to repot it. I'm terrified I'm going to mess it up, and it's so gorgeous. I'm just leaving it alone. Okay, so what I think I want to do is take some cuttings off of this big old begonia back here. I think I'm ready to give it a try. So I need to go find something I can prop it in, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back. These are apple juice jars. My boyfriend's brother loves this apple juice, and anytime he gets it, I always ask him if he could save me the jars because they're so cute. They got little leaf designs up here, and I like doing my props usually in water because I like to watch the roots grow. So we're gonna put some of this fertilized water in here. It's a little blue. And because I'm not absolutely sure that this is the best way, I think I'm gonna do the smaller one in just plain water. Because I don't want to kill everything. I've changed my mind. I'm going to do the little one with the fertilized water, and then I'll do the bigger jar with just plain water. That makes more sense, right? Alright, so I've got my little jar with the blue water, and even though I hate to cut this plant apart because I actually really like the way it's growing, also kind of really want to see if I can propagate it. I just can't decide like where I want to take the cutting from because I really do like the way it's growing. Alright, I think I'm going to take this back cutting right here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull this leaf off, and I'll stick this in my prop box. Probably this smaller leaf also. And I'm just going to pop it in here. I hope this works. I don't necessarily have a green thumb. I like to say I have a black thumb because I feel like I've killed more plants than I've kept alive. But I want to get better. I also really want to take a cutting of the Addisonii, but I also really like the way that's growing. I want to take a cutting of my Begonia maculata. There's so many cuttings I want to take, but I'm scared because I don't really know what I'm doing. I also don't want to just leave them as is and let them die and it be the only plant I have of it. So I'm kind of torn. There's this one. Other cutting of this guy I'm going to do in spag. I've decided. I had already decided and then I forgot and then I remembered. So it's a good thing this bag was pretty cheap. It's less than $5. And I know the stuff you get on Amazon comes in like a small flat square, and then when you soak it, it fluffs up. I'm sure you probably get more in that one. This says 240 grams, 8.47 ounces. I think the ones you order on Amazon are like, I don't even know. But those are like $22 or something. A little bit in the bottom. I'm going to put a little more. Okay, I think I feel like 2/3 of the cup. 3/4, I don't know. If it had roots, I would have put less, but it doesn't. I don't want to cut anything. I really like the way it's growing. Alright, here's a piece that isn't doing so well, I guess. There we go. So we'll pull this bottom leaf set off. And I think I'll even take this one off. Make sure that there's a node. That's a node right there. Make sure there's a node down in the spag. And then we're just going to gently press in around it, not too hard. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't, just going off of videos I've watched. And there we go. I'm gonna stick it closer to the light source. Ta-da! Now, since I do have these leaves, I'm going to turn this little thing here into another little propagation container. There's quite a bit of moss in here. What's the difference between moist and damp? I think moist means you can still squeeze fluid out of it, and damp means you can tell it's wet, but you can no longer squeeze moisture out of it. I don't know. So I want this to be damp with a slight side of moist. I don't know. Sorry if you hate that word, moist. I don't really understand why some words just bother people like that. Harley, always talking about her. You think I was in love with her or something. Harley hates using the word flaccid, but sometimes she can't think of another word, and I'm always like talking to the screen while I'm watching her video saying limp. Limp. Limp is another word. If you don't like flaccid, use limp, but she can't hear me. So now it's damp. I'm going to take these leaves that I pulled off of my beautiful begonia, and I'm just going to set them kind of on top and like kind of push them in there. This one has a stem on it, so I'm going to stick the stem down into this bag. I really hope this works. I feel like I've tried, I have tried this method before, only I was using the sphagnum that I got out of the woods near my house, and also they were being kept in a dark room with not enough light, and things just rotted. So I'm hoping that since I have these lights in here now, I've got heat, that it'll be the ideal climate to actually get these guys to root. So I'm just putting the lid on here. And there does not need to be any holes in this, because plants make their own oxygen. They're not gonna die in here unless it gets too wet. If there's too much condensation, things will start to rot. If there's not enough moisture, it won't work. If there's not enough light, it won't work. And if there's not enough humidity, I guess it won't work either. So no holes, and it should work. You can't even see the leaves, they're so dark. Oh, but you can see me. Hey. Alright, so there's that. You can't really tell, but I can. There was a spot right here that's missing, and a spot right somewhere in here that's missing. So on this guy, two of these little branches, I don't know, they feel soft and bendy, and I don't like it. So I think I'm going to cut those off. They didn't really push out any new growth this year anyway. There we go. And hopefully, if the plant is happy enough, it will push out new growth points from where I cut from. That's what we're hoping for anyway. Oh, and he needs to be repotted. I have little pieces of this, I don't know what it is, some kind of succulent that fell off of my main plant when I guess it got overwatered from the rain or something. I don't really know how to root them. I think I'll stick one in my propagation container. Yeah, I'll stick one in here with these guys. See if we can get any roots off of this, because he was a really cool plant when he was small. I mean, he's still cool. He's just gone a little wild. I'll try to keep you guys updated on all of these little experiments I have going. I don't know how these guys grow or anything, so there. See if it works. What else are we gonna do today? So this was my little propagation in the leca balls, and I think I'll add some fertilized water in here, food in here, and it looks like, you see that white spot right there? It looks like that's a growth point or a root point. I don't know, but I'm going to give them a little bit of fertilizer water. This is considered a humidity tent, in case you didn't know. I don't think this water has been changed since I stuck them in here. That's pretty gross. I guess that's everything I'm going to do for now. If I decide to do anything else, I'll turn the camera back on, but if you don't see anything else in this video, you know I decided that I was done. So, just in case, thank you for watching, for hanging out with me in my grow barn. I gotta go charge my phone now. Okay, bye.